If you work with people that aren't as good as you, then you become a country of midgets. If you work with people that are better than you, then you really grow.
Being your most successful self isn't an easy task to accomplish. Not many know this better than the late tech guru, Steve Jobs. If you prepare yourself for the day-to-day challenges life brings you, you already have a leg up on the competition. You may get lucky and find what you love to do early in life, but just when you get comfortable, things can take a turn for the worse. Even if you are feeling down and out, don't give up. Take that love for your work and begin anew, because your next project may be the most successful one yet.
Could somebody else figure out a way to do that? Maybe they could, but they weren't, so we did.
It's not enough to just love your job, though. Think about why you do the things that you do. Don't fall into the trap of doing things a certain way, just because that's the way they've always been done. Know exactly what you are putting into your work so that you know exactly what it is worth. But it can't always be done alone. Don't hesitate to collaborate with the people within your circle. Delegate responsibility where it needs to be, and then get together to share your ideas. Trust each other to do the parts they are in charge of, and your ability to solve problems will grow. Focus on what you do well, and learn not how to say yes, but say no. Turn down opportunities to do too many things at once. Allow yourself and others who work with you to do the best work in the best way that they know how. When you are excited about what you do, the results will speak for themselves and others will notice.
And so if you're a great person, why do you want to work for somebody you can't learn anything from?
We try to hire really smart people, but we have a very simple organization. Try to focus and do very few things well. And focusing's hard, because focusing doesn't mean saying yes, it means saying no. We decide not to do a lot of things so we can focus on a few handfuls of things and do them well. I think everybody working at a company wants to do something great. They want to be excited about what they're working on, and they want to be recognized for it if they do a really great job. So we just try to allow people to do the best work of their lives at Apple and get it out to 25 million customers that we have. And that's very exciting. And when you're working on something and if this works out, up to 25 million people are going to use this. It's very motivating. And it's not just 25 million of our customers, but other companies tend to follow us. It takes them a few years, but other companies tend to copy what we do if it works. Right. And so we can influence the whole industry.
And the answers you invariably get are, oh, that's just the way it's done. Nobody knows why they do what they do. Nobody thinks about things very deeply in business. That's what I found. I'll give you an example. When we were building our Apple I's in the garage, we knew exactly what they cost. When we got into a factory in the Apple II days, the accounting had this notion of a standard cost, where you'd kind of set a standard cost and then at the end of a quarter you'd adjust it with a variance. And I kept asking, well, why do we do this? And the answer was, well, that's just the way it's done. And after about 6 months of digging into this, what I realized was the reason you do it is because you don't really have good enough controls to know how much it costs, so you guess, and then you fix your guess at the end of the quarter. And the reason you don't know how much it costs is because your information systems aren't good enough. But nobody said it that way. And so later on, when we designed this automated factory for Macintosh, we were able to get rid of a lot of these antiquated concepts and know exactly what something cost to the second. So in business, a lot of things are, I call it folklore. They're done because they were done yesterday and the day before.
I actually started on the tablet first. I had this idea of being able to get rid of the keyboard, type on a multi-touch glass display. And I asked our folks, could we come up with a multi-touch display that I could type on, I could rest my hands on and actually type on. And about 6 months later, they called me in and showed me this prototype display. And it was amazing. And I gave it to one of our guys. This was in the early 90s. I mean, early 2000s. And I gave it to one of our other really brilliant UI folks. And he called me back a few weeks later, and he had inertial scrolling working and a few other things. Now, we were thinking about building a phone at that time. When I saw the rubber band, inertial scrolling, and a few of the other things, I thought we can build a phone out of this. And I put the tablet project on the shelf because the phone was more important. And we went and took the next several years and did the iPhone. And when we got our wind back and thought we could take on something next. Pulled the tablet off the shelf, took everything we learned from the phone, and went back to work on the tablet.
My second story is about love and loss. I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30, and then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? As Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me, and for the first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When we did, our board of directors sided with him. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.